Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold and the Beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The spoilers for Thursday, January 5's episode of Bold and the Beautiful show that Steffy Forrester believed Sander Avant was fabricating his charge against Thomas Forrester in retaliation for his termination. Steffy brought up the fact that Sander had reported the incident to the police, who concluded that irresponsible driving was to blame for Emma Barber's accident. John Finnegan concurred with Steffy's worries, stating that losing Hope may be the tipping point for Thomas. Steffy was more concerned about Hope Logan, Annika Noel, exploiting Thomas. Steffy believed Finn was siding with Hope after he brought up Thomas' problems and stated that Hope deserved to be safeguarded. Finn refuted it, but he did bring up Thomas's horrific past and all the agony he had brought around. With an angry nudge, Steffy persisted that Thomas was not to fault for Emma's accident and forced Finn to back off. After Steffy calmed down a little, she embraced Finn and called him baby, pleading with him to stop. Thomas playfully questioned Hope in the Forrester Creations design studio whether she was certain she wouldn't decide not to accept his proposal. But Thomas soon reassured Hope that he knew she wasn't ready yet and that he was prepared to wait. Hope looked thoughtful and caressed the engagement ring on her necklace. Hope stated that she hated to let Thomas down, but he claimed that she didn't. Reiterating that he understood Hope wasn't ready, Thomas said that she would know she was the only woman for him in the interim. Hope gave Thomas a kiss, but she didn't look very comfortable. Later, Steffy discovered Thomas by himself and provided information on Sander's appearance as Finn's patient. While Steffy argued that the news was significant since Sander believed Thomas was to blame for Emma's death, Thomas didn't understand why it's important. Hope thought this was about Thomas after Finn called her into his office. After learning what he did, Finn claimed he was more concerned than ever about Hope's relationship with Thomas. After Finn clarified that Sander Avant had arrived as a new patient, he added Sander had made a very startling claim. Finn brought up Steffy's belief in her brother, but he was afraid because Sander had charged Thomas with being the reason for Emma's unfortunate outcome. Do you now see why I'm worried about you so much? On Thursday's B&B episode, Finn questioned and astounded Hope. In the meanwhile, Luna Nozawa told R.G. Forrester that Bill Spencer may be the one to permanently alter Poppy Nozawa's life. Bill had a long history with women, so R.G. warned Luna not to anticipate too much from their first date. Luna wasn't sure what Poppy's type was, but based on their past interactions, she surmised that Bill may be her type. Luna had grown accustomed to not having her father in the photo because it had always just been she and Poppy. R.G. questioned Poppy about whether she had ever acknowledged her father by name, realizing that Luna couldn't ignore what she hadn't known. Luna stated that Poppy hadn't and proposed that her mother had only mentioned that she was created out of love. Luna didn't appear to be attempting to arrange a marriage, but she did sound optimistic about Bill and Poppy's future together. Though Luna adored happy endings, R.G. felt that thinking about a wedding was a bit too much. After all this time, Luna said, perhaps Bill would finally give Poppy one. Poppy admitted at Il Giardino that she did, after all these years, recall Bill. Poppy had never forgotten that amazing night, and she never would. With a suggestion that it was fortification for all Bill's questioning, Poppy took a pill out of a case. Poppy mentioned she was anxious before this date and needed something to calm her down, like Bill's scotch, after clarifying that everything was okay. Poppy brought up the fact that Bill had never contacted her following the music festival, even though she didn't want to confront him. Bill apologized and said that at the time he was preoccupied with his business. Bill stated Poppy was kind to let him off the hook and said he was sorry, but Poppy understood that they had their own lives to live. Bill pondered how things could have turned out differently if he had answered the phone then. After Bill praised Luna for her accomplishments, Poppy acknowledged that Luna hadn't had the best upbringing. Bill remarked that Poppy had to be a real jerk when she mentioned that Luna's father wasn't involved in her life. Bill came to the realization that Luna didn't know her father when Poppy said that her father was unaware of her pregnancy. Bill presumed Poppy was aware of Luna's father, but she made a suggestion that these inquiries were becoming intimate. Bill claimed that any guy would be happy to name Luna his daughter, even if he didn't plan to eavesdrop. Bill exclaimed that Poppy was just as gorgeous today as she had been when they first met, and then he remarked about how amazing it was to see her dance. Poppy used to be such a carefree person, but then she became a mother. Bill said he would never forget about Poppy and expressed shock that she had a daughter Luna's age. Poppy smiled as Bill kissed her and said, "I truly would like to see you again." Stay in as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Bill and Poppy's romance is about to grow much more difficult. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, January 4th, indicate that John Finnegan worried Steffi Forrester because Xander Avant thought Thomas Forrester was to blame for Emma Barber's death. Steffi contended that despite Thomas's horrendous errors, he hadn't gone too far. Finn thought Steffi appeared unsurprised that Xander would place the blame on Thomas, despite this. Steffi clarified that Xander was enmeshed in the mayhem when Beth Spencer was a newborn, and that he felt pressured to remain silent by Thomas. Steffi admitted that part was probably true given Thomas's circumstances at the time. But Steffi said that Emma had just lost control of her vehicle and made an abrupt turn. Steffi urged Finn to end the conversation because she found the whole thing quite disturbing, especially after she hinted that Xander was making these claims as a form of revenge. Finn described Thomas' extreme distress throughout his obsession with Hope Logan. No matter how much treatment Thomas received, Finn believed that they should remain vigilant about Steffi's brother, since something was gravely wrong. Steffi admitted that she was afraid Thomas would become triggered once more if Hope let him down after stating that Finn was correct. Hope, in the meantime, informed Thomas that perhaps one day she might accept his proposal, but she hoped he would see that she wasn't ready for such a commitment at this time. Although Thomas acknowledged that he was a little let down, he reassured Hope that he understood and that he was prepared to wait. Hope added that since their relationship was already dramatized enough, they should keep this proposition between them. Thomas admitted that if Brooke Logan found out, she would go crazy. When the conversation shifted to others who disapproved of their romance, Thomas mentioned that Finn had yelled at him for confronting Steffi. For a while, Thomas had been curious about Finn's thoughts toward him, but now Finn was expressing them. Hope was a little alarmed as she flashed back to Finn, informing her that she could do better than Thomas. After Hope implied that Finn would change, Thomas countered that Hope had already changed and that he only cared about her viewpoint. The fact that Hope refrained from pushing the ring in his face gave Thomas hope that their future together would be happy. Thomas advised Hope to take her time because he wasn't going away after stating that Douglas Forrester would be overjoyed if they were married. Hope was the sole woman for Thomas, and he declared that he would never stray from her. Hope embraced Thomas's kind hug, clearly overwhelmed and thinking about a lot of things. On Wednesday's B&B episode, Bill Spencer met Liam Spencer for drinks at Il Giardino and indicated that he had a dinner date later in the evening. Liam discovered that Bill had dated Finn's aunt and discovered that his father had previously been acquainted with Poppy Nozawa. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.